did. Okay, good. Alright now. This is going to be a quick tutorial on doing some blending with Photoshop Elements 8. As you can see, I still have I now have Photoshop Elements 6. Photoshop Creative Suite 6. And before I switch over completely, I want to show you guys how I do things in Photoshop 8, Elements 8, which I've got open now. Quick shout out to covewood for suggesting me to do a tutorial on how to blend. So I'm going to go ahead and do that real quick. First of all, I've got a picture of pink. This is a suggestion from my wife. She said I should draw pink once. I think it's a good idea. This will show you kind of the basics of what I do when I draw some stuff digitally. First of all, unless you got a printed out reference or you're just going to wing it in your head, what I usually do is I leave it on the desktop, but I go ahead and view, turn off the application frame, and then I really don't need effects open, so I go ahead and go to Window, turn off effects. Actually, I can disengage it, I think. Let me see. Yeah, here we go. And then I can take layers, separate that off. It's taking a little bit of lag because this is now I've got Elements open with the video recording going on, which is not exactly a happy blend. Go ahead and do that real quick. See if it, yeah, there we go. I really don't need the project bin open, so sometimes I'll close that too. The project bin, where is it? Is it panel bin? Let's see if it does it. It turns it off. No, it didn't. Oh, there it goes. Good. You may not see that. That's actually the screen recording software stuff. And anyway, I'm going to create a new document. Not sure the dimensions of this original pink photo, but that's okay. I'll go to preview and see what size it is. I meant to really create this, but again, no big deal. 625 by 417. That's what we'll do. 625 417. Copy paste it so I won't forget. And we'll take a reference. That's about right. Now I do have a Wacom tablet, guys. So if it seems like I'm drawing really well with a mouse or with the finger thing, with the touchpad, it's because I don't have. I actually have the a touch screen. The tablet. So if it seems like I'm doing super well with my drawing skills, it's because I really can draw with the with that. And I'm going to get the same exact dimensions, but we're going to do something really cool here in a second. I want it to be the same size as the image, but it's going to be super tiny because this is a 72 dpi, 70 pixel per inch image, and this is 300, so they have the same number of pixels, but the computer thinks it's smaller. It's a long story. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to resize it. So it'll have the same dimensions, but I'm going to increase it by about 200%. Actually, no, I'm going to increase it by about 400%. 0%. So make it 4 times as big. 400%. And as you can see, it gets me about 25 by 1600 pixels. That's a good size. It's going to take a little while to update because it's going to say, oh my gosh, so many more pixels. There we go, though. But we're going to go ahead and make the window back to a regular size again. There we go. Try to fit it all in one space. That's a simple command key. It's just command 0 for a Mac. It just basically says put all the pixels in a visible size on the screen. Alright. Now, first things first. There we go. First thing I need to do is I need to put in a background color, which I'm going to go ahead and alright, let me go ahead and split this to a narrow. There we go. I don't like having palettes that are super long. Some people like them long, some people don't. I don't care if I'm long. Double click on your color, and obviously you want an orange. pretty similar to what she's got in the background there. That's a little bit too dark. That's about right. Now I don't go 2-layer crazy, but I'm gonna drop this in here real quick, just so I got a starting ground that's the right color. It's about the right color. It's a little bit whiter in hers. I see that now, so I'm gonna go up to saturation, and it's a little bit more, a bit less saturated, a bit more of the hue, a little bit more pink. Back here again. That's about right. Can't really tell the difference. There we go, that's better. That's better. Go ahead and add a new layer on here. What I'm gonna do now really quickly is, if I can get this adjusted just right, I'm gonna go ahead and draw in a quick sketch of where I want her paint to be. I'm gonna do that with a real simple thing. Got my Wacom tablet up and running. Whoops, hold still, Wacom tablet. I'll go ahead and switch back to pink for a second, because I can grab this and drag it down. There we go. I'll grab my pencil tool, wherever that went. I think it's just P for pencil, isn't it? It helps to know your shortcut keys too. There we go, there's pencil tool, it's N. My apologies. I usually use a pencil tool of about 1 and switch to a white color. So I'm just going to sketch in some. This is just going to be a crappy layer of just sketching on here. So I'm going to slide this over here. I'm going to resize it so I can get a better view of what it looks like, proportionally wise. There we go, much, much better. Just so we can get a good feel of what it looks like. Man, there's a lot of lag. It's the video recording, it's really lagging it out, but I'll show you basically how to blend. So I just want to sketch in really quickly. You really can't tell. Oh, there it goes. A lot of lag. Heck of lag. See if we've got any more over here. There we go. You know the dimensions didn't look quite right. Anyway. I'm just using, like, basically, I'm not caring too much if the lines aren't perfect, because this is going to be on a separate layer. I'm not going to worry too much about it. While it's doing hell of lag, let me go ahead and file save this. Because right now it's trying to save every single thing in short-term memory. And we're just going to go with untitled TIFF. That'll be enough. There we go. And it gives me that constant warning that layers are going to be making it bigger. That's okay. We're going to work with a couple layers. This one being the basic layer. Kind of not doing the part I was going to say, which is going to do a tutorial about, which is to do the blending. I'll get to that in just a second here. Sorry guys. Kind of want to sketch it out first to make sure things are right. That's kind of where that goes. And yeah, she's coming up more than I thought. So if I really wanted to, which I think I will, I'll grab this. And grab my other tool, hold shift, so now I don't have to add it. Now we go ahead and move tool. Let me just move this line over more. And about there. Anyway, this is just to give me a rough idea of enter that so it's a final change. No, I don't think that worked right. Alright, well anyway. Control Z that. Anyway. Command D to deselect. Alright, now let's go ahead and start a new layer. This way we won't mess up those quick sketches I did. Not that they're anything glorious, but you know, it gives you an idea. We're going to go to the color picker. I'm going to try to get a shade close to pink skin. Alright, hue needs to be a little oranger. That's about kind of right. Maybe go a little bit less saturation. It's about right. Anyway, let me close up DeviantArt because it's being crazy. Safari is probably slowing down. It's the way Mac does Flash. Whoa, slow down there, partner. Alright, now I'm going to take my brush tool. So I've got my color selected. I'm going to swap to regular brush real quick. Regular brush tool. And here's where things get interesting. I'm going to start off with for this, in the case of this, I'm going to start off with 100% opacity because I need to just get some colors down. And I'll show you how to do the actual, because I'm not going to do anything too fancy. Let me draw on her cheek real quick. I'll probably finish this at one point, but I just want to hit the high points right now. That's where her eyes should sit roughly. And again, this is really rough. I'm trying to focus on just getting some color down first. And then I'll show you what I'm doing in a second here. Okay, that's where her cheek's going to start. And then it's going to bend around here for her very prominent chin line. Now, if you look, there's two things going on here. First of all, you've got white there and extra little bit of blush there. That's okay. We'll go to here. And we're going to go to hue. And I'll make it a little bit redder. Yeah, that's about right. We're going to go to saturation, make it a little darker. Actually, it's pale, but it's also not so bright, so yeah, we're going to use that. Now, here's what we're going to do. Go up to here. This is how I do really good skin tones. Or at least it's a starting point. I don't know if it's the best thing to do in the world. Go down here and grab a soft brush of 100. There we go. Nice, soft, big brush. Now watch what happens. See how we got that? But that's not what we're going to do right now. You're going to go up to here. We're going to go up to about 20%. So, set your opacity to 20%. Big, soft, fat brush. I mean, big, soft, and fat. And then I'm just going to go like this. So you can't, it's so subtle you can't even tell what you've done. But I'm doing multiple strokes. And there you go. See? And then I got a nice little blend there. And you can do the same thing here. See, I'm adding just a little hint of pink up on there. Now I'll do the same thing with the white. So I'm going to go up to like a white tone over here. Kind of a whitey flesh tone. Make it a little brighter. It's about, is it about right? Saturation. And I'll make it more white because you're not going to notice it. And I'm going to make it a smaller brush this time. So we can get those highlights a little bit more specific. But keep the strokes a little bit narrower too. So you push them out there a little bit more. See the strongest part of that highlight's right there. See? And that's a starting point. And see, there's also like right here where her cheekbone is. What cheekbone? I'm sorry, where her eyebrow bone is. So the more you layer it, the stronger the effect gets. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and grab that color again. Grab that color again. Anyway, the biggest trick is to use big, soft brushes and very little opacity. And then to get your block colors in, you want to do a big, thick brush. You know, hard edges, 100% opacity, things like that. opacity like that, so you can get your bolder touches in, to get your block colors in. And then of course the shortcut is the square bracket key. It makes your brushes larger. Of course, if you want a nice hard edge again, you can just paint over it with a hard edge brush. See, that's the way you really get good blends, is to regulate. You regulate how hard the edge of the brush is and how much opacity it has. So if you really want, let me just go ahead and do this real quick here. For example, like right there, I kind of made a hard edge again, but that's okay. I can go back here, grab the eyedropper tool, just click in there again, and go back up to a brush again. So what you're going to do is just want to keep using your eyedropper tool to pick color. Go back and forth between small, large brushes, soft edge, hard edge. Take it down to 20% opacity. Whenever you want to do something small without, see, it always does that. Forgot about that with elements. Whenever you want to blend something, always go with a soft brush and low opacity and make multiple strokes. It's always easy to go back and blend something out later. See, if you pick the same color at the darkest point, you're never going to go darker than it. So you can always blend back up. And if you find yourself with too hard of an edge, you come back with the flesh tone and come back in and do the same exact thing. So always use a soft brush with low opacity and just keep putting multiple layers on. Eventually you'll build up enough layers where it will blend. And just make smooth applications slowly. And if you make mistakes, it's going to be harder to see. Now if I really want to be, just to kind of show you what I'm doing here. That's about right. Oh, really hard to pick. Zoom in on this. Oh, I hate that. That's one thing about elements I don't like. It really resizes you to what you don't want to be. Anyway. Make the brush smaller again. There we go. And then just let me just show you real quickly. This isn't a good eyebrow idea. This is not a good eyebrow idea. It's going to take forever. Up my opacity really quickly. This has a bit bigger impact. Just to give you an idea of contrast, see how it's going to work when you get the whole thing done. And again, I'm going to go back and tweak it some more, because this is, I mean, the drawing's way off. I mean, her other eye should be like way down here. You know, and then this should be rounded off a little bit more. But again, this I just want to show you really quickly how to do stuff like the eyes here and this. And then if it gets too rough, you always go to here, or the blur tool. Again, select a big brush. See how this one's got a nice stroke on it, 250. With the blur tool though, you want to up your strength. Although it does take a long time for it to process, but that's another good way to kind of blend off some rough edges. I recommend just doing all the skin tones on one layer, so you don't have to worry about, gee whiz, what layer's on what layer. If you get 2 layers, if you accidentally put it on 2 layers, just go ahead and flatten it. But that gives you kind of a nice idea of blending. And again, see how I didn't quite go up here with the cheek like it should have been? That's okay. That's weird. Oop. It's this lag killing me. Just go back to your brush. Go back to a nice soft edge. Do a nice 60. Do a nice opacity down to about 20. It gives you a nice, strong enough. It's strong enough that over time it makes a difference. But if you make one mistake, it's not going to be very obvious. Grab your eyedropper tool. Make sure you grab the pink of the cheek. Grab your brush. And then just start laying it in. And there you are. And even for the narrow bits, if you narrow it down enough, you're not going to tell. See? Voila. And I hope that gives you kind of a good starting point. Really, it's just observation of colors. For example, on this part here, it's a little bit grayer. So I'm gonna make a quick color like around there. Maybe pink it up a little bit more, and we're good. You can see stuff like this. Just go. If it gets to be too dark, you just come back here, grab this, and you put it back on the top. There we go. And here's the cool part. When you start laying colors a couple times, if you got the color too dark the first time, you just go here, eyebrow tool, and go, oh, okay, that's the color I want right there. Now you never go darker than that. And yeah, it'll take a couple times of applying it, but it'll eventually all smooth out. See how many strokes I put on there? Tons. Well, that's okay. After time, it'll all start to add up. You'll have the perfect amount of color, perfect amount of blend. Just keep using the eyedropper tool, going back to the brush. And you just keep adding it up. That gives you kind of gives you a quick idea of how to do it. And of course, obviously, you want to take your time, get your blends smoother, use bigger brushes, maybe use more colors, but maybe textured brushes sometimes, so it gives you a bit of a modeling. But the basic goal is you want to use big, soft brushes with soft edges and low opacity, so it blends slowly. So you get a nice, good blend evenly without having too much complication. But anyway, I say it's a quick video, but it's like apparently it took me 22 minutes to record this. I might cut some of it out if YouTube won't let me put the whole video up. But this at least gives you a quick summary of how to get these subtle gradations fairly easily. And basically, I only use 3 colors. And if I want to go more in depth with it, you could probably do more. And usually, the more colors you add subtly, the more realistic it'll be. Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day.